this is Underhaven episode 45 or 46, I forgot.
It's 40. Oh my god, we haven't even done 100 episodes to get swag to. Yeah, it's 45. I think, probably, maybe.
Yeah, I was in the ballpark. I got it.
Yeah. You're close enough. Close enough. It's not like you said it was like fucking 69 or something.
We're gonna have to do something special for 69. I don't know what.
Yeah, we will. We'll have to plan out something very special. Maybe we'll get a fucking special guest. I've got someone in mind, but we'll talk about that.
Sweet. Going out in a blaze.
Yeah,
so we're joined by Steve McRae and Vince.
Yeah, we've been trying to get Steve on here for quite a few times. I tried to get him on once, and then just like shit fell through. I tried to get him on another time, and shit fell through because YouTube is bullshit. And now we finally got him on. Third time's the fucking charm, you know. So how you doing?
I thought it was like your 1000th episode. I thought it was going to be the special guest for like the special occasion, but no, this is just a regular Underhaven Discord, Twitter, Twitch, whatever the heck you guys use. It's Twitch, right?
We use Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Twitch, but I don't. You know, I haven't figured out the ins and outs of it yet. Maybe you guys can give me some pointers.
It's awful.
Yeah. The first episode we ever did on Twitch was lost. The first episode we ever felt good and confident about that we ever recorded was lost because Twitch by default doesn't save your recording. So that was a great introduction to the fucking platform.
We had like one. Yeah, we had like one episode where we were like, you know, this is really good. This is like, we're making improvements. We gotta look at this and like, you know, compare it to the other ones, and then you're just fucking gone. Sorry.
What? So what? You have to like do a local recording or restream it to somewhere else?
Sometimes we do that if we have like connection issues, but usually we have no problems. But at this point, Twitch archives all of them until we download them and then delete them. You know, because there's a certain person out there who is, you know, hell-bent on getting us pulled off Twitch.
Yeah, and eating mac and cheese.
There's always one person with that, isn't there? Always one person that wants to take.
Yeah, there's always that one guy.
That one.
Yeah, I can't remember his
name.
I
know this person. You don't. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have to name him, but do I know him? Because we know a lot of the same people that do a lot of the same.
He's quite notorious. He's quite notorious.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that every time we ever try to arrange something like this, something keeps coming up. It's like this wasn't in the stars. So
yeah, it is pretty fucking crazy. I mean, this happened with quite a few guests though. Like, there's a few guests that I've tried to get on multiple times. Like, there's this guy, Turkey Tom, who like we're pretty good friends. Like, I've chatted to him quite a few times on Twitter. I really like the guy. I like his content, but just every single time that we try and plan something out, like something happens with his work or a family member and shit fucking. I don't know. YouTube is fucking crazy. It's like, I don't sweat it, you know? Like I was saying before this, I don't fucking sweat it, because if you sweat that small fucking shit, then you probably can't do fucking YouTube, because it's really stressful to do.
There's like so much fuckery going on with YouTube just on the daily that it's like, you have to just kind of be prepared for that and have some kind of expectation of, okay, they're gonna fuck me this way now. Gotcha.
I expect YouTube to get worse every single week, and if it doesn't get worse, then I'm surprised. In fact, I think it'll eventually get to a point where I expect YouTube to get worse every single fucking day. But they don't push out updates that fast enough yet, so we're not.
No, YouTube has issues. There's no question about it. I think the biggest issue I have with YouTube is that they don't properly give out notifications. Because I have one more person tell me, I didn't know this was live today. How did I miss this? It's because they've clicked it, they've subscribed, but no, YouTube says, screw you, we're not going to tell you when Steve's live.
Oh, it's bad, man.
By the way,
it's horrific, man. It's terrible.
YouTube, they recently put up a video regarding that. And
what they say?
They say that it's like a limitation in what they're basically what their
they don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, they can't fucking handle it, which is like, yeah, I call bullshit. I mean, like, this is the same company that has invented like self-driving cars and, you know, Google Glass, as dorky as that was. You know, like they've mastered AI, and yet they can't figure out like a notification system worth a fuck. I call bullshit.
Dude, that's one of the reasons why we're here on Twitch. Even though Twitch has a lot of fucking problems, it's not fucking perfect. At least they fucking notify our fucking followers, and it's harder to get followers on Twitch, but at least they're, you know, they fucking know, they're in the loop. It's not easy on fucking YouTube.
Yeah, well, on any platform, it's hard to get followers. But I've noticed something with Google is that they tend to sweep things under the rug. Like, do you remember back when they had the problem with the Hangouts, with people sniping Hangouts? Well, that wasn't a bug. That was now a feature.
Yep.
And they knew they were getting rid of it. That's why they didn't want to invest any money trying to fix it. Hangouts goes away end of this year, and then they're going to, I guess, give away Google Meets for free, which is usually in the business suite, which is cool because I like Google Meets. But yeah, they were going to fix that because it was not a bug at the time. Now it was a feature, so people could basically eliminate the moderator as well, and then do porn bombing to the channel and get them channel stricken and taken down. That seems like a logical thing to have.
That seems fair.
Yeah,
it does.
Honestly, though, like, what an end to an era on YouTube with Google Hangouts finally coming to a fucking close. The only thing anyone ever liked about Google.
Well, yeah, it's easy to just set up a Hangout that way, right? I mean, just do it as a quick event.
There's a lot of people that don't even know. Like, honestly, like, I was convincing Pimp Monk for over a year, and he finally did it earlier this year. He finally moved on from Google Hangouts into using into using OBS and shit like that. And he still has problems with it, but, he's learning over time. It's not that easy to fucking get into, but there's a lot of fucking people, even still today, people who are, like, making channels that are, like, up and coming. And I see them that they only use fucking Google Hangouts. And look, if you use Google Hangouts, it doesn't mean that you have a fucking shitty show or anything. You can still be really fucking entertaining and use fucking primitive software. Like, if you're getting a fucking audience and you're using Google Hangouts, clearly you're doing something right. But
yeah,
it's just crazy because now those people like that aren't going to be able to be up and coming anymore because it's not going to be that easy. They're going to have to go in with OBS, and that's a lot more of a fucking commitment.
Well, do you think that YouTube is going to have a quick setting? Do you think that Google Meets is going to be something like quick
I hope so, but maybe not, because it seems like YouTube wants to butcher that aspect of YouTube, like the easy type of content.
Yeah, see what they want to do is like bring on big Hollywood people. That's what I've noticed. They heavily favor those people above like any independent commentator, especially. Like, if you establish yourself as like this, like semi-controversial kind of like debater, if you can call it that, on Google Hangouts or something like that, there's like a snowball's chance in hell you're gonna get noticed. And if you do, like, odds are they're just gonna bury you underneath like layers of like Joe Rogan or fucking Jack Black or Will Smith or some shit like that.
In order to get anywhere on YouTube these days, you gotta know people. That's just the sad and honest truth. You gotta have talent, but you definitely gotta know people too.
Yeah. You gotta have people skills, which we don't, but, we still know people, so...
I mean, I guess I do. Enough to get fucking guests on the show every week. But even then, I don't consider myself to be a very sociable person. I guess I'm just... I feel like there's a lot of people on YouTube and shit who are very antisocial people, but it's kind of ironic because they're forced onto a platform where they need to be social, but not in, like, the real-life sense, like, not in a face-to-face interaction. It's like a different type of interacting with people when you're doing it online, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is critical. I mean... Okay, I mean, I've been on YouTube, I don't know, going on 7 years, I guess. And I didn't know anybody, right? I mean, I had to work my way up from the very bottom, which most people do. And I think a lot of people get there quicker based on their content because they get into the right niche, right? And people are like, oh, we really like this. But then I see a lot of times they get a lot of subscribers, but very few live viewers. I've seen channels that have like 100,000 subs, and they go live and they'll get like 15 people watching or something like that. I'm like, wow, those are a lot of dead subs. So I'm kind of grateful that I don't have an excessive amount of subs, because I don't have a lot of dead subs. Because I mean, if I'm getting 800 people watching and I only got 11,000 subs, that's a pretty dang good ratio.
Yeah, because we started our show like a year ago, we have a pretty good ratio too. That shit matters in terms of growing your channel and that's why I say that bigger channels actually in some ways have a disadvantage. They have the following that that's already established, and that's a huge advantage there. They can make more connections.
Yeah, but it goes back to the thing we talked about like YouTube not notifying people, because I checked my analytics recently, like the new ones, and it can actually like show you like what percentage of people who are subscribed to you have enabled the alert bell and are, always getting notified. For me, it's like 23% or something like that out of like 100,000 people. And naturally, of course, like when I go live, I get like 500 something viewers or something like that, which is, not bad, but at the same time, out of like 100,000 people, that's fucking abysmal. Honestly,
that's pretty light.
If all the people subscribed to your channel that are active at that moment, there would be more people that would watch if they were just fucking.
I would guesstimate for 100. If you got 100,000 subs, I would guesstimate for a good live view, you should probably be averaging around 3,000.
Yeah, something like that. But like when I upload a video, it's like 20,000 plus views, which is, decent, which is like, 20% of the audience. But, like when I go live, that's when it's like, nothing really.
Well, some people may not like to watch the live stuff, but I find that
people who are established as
the thing I've noticed is like, when I go live, I get that amount of viewers, but then when I archive the live stream and like upload it as a video, 20,000 fucking views. So like, how does that even make any sense? It's an archived live stream. Yeah.
Literally, mine's the complete opposite. I will do a video and I'll like my video, right? And I'll put it up there and I'll get like 1,000, 2,000 views, but I do a live stream and it'll get like 6,000, 10,000.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some other logistical differences, but I'm sure part of that just has to do with the differences in the size of your channels and how differently YouTube treats channels that are.
And also how different your audiences are. People that actually want to go in and watch everything live, the timing of everything matters too. But also back to the notification bell, it also depends on whether or not Google is doing what they're supposed to be doing on the back end. Because I had all my notification bells on for the longest time. I never started getting any notifications.
It's true. It doesn't always. It definitely doesn't work most of the time.
Yeah, it's sad. Low energy.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so what else has been going on? I mean, like, we could segue into something, unless you want to watch some videos.
Let's watch some fucking content. All
right. So I don't know how you guys will feel about this, but I found it to be amusing at least. So here we go.
There you are, playing the PvP in your World War II shooter, and all of a sudden, you're a Nazi.
Good start.
You didn't ask for this. You didn't choose this. Yet there it is. And it's treated no differently than playing a British soldier.
Stop. God, I hate people who have like loud intros and shit. Fuck that.
This is bad.
Yeah, me too. We would never do
that. No.
No one should ever have a random chance of fighting for the Nazis. And we should never express that there's no meaningful difference between Nazis and Allied soldiers, or that they're functionally interchangeable. And before anyone equivocates and says,
is just another person who can't differentiate between real life and like a video game.
Is this like a satirical thing for gamers that like to play on the Nazi side?
No, this is not satire. This is like this guy's known for making like analysis of video games and like, yeah. This is like a sincere like we need to condemn this.
Stop.
I'm sorry, Steve. No, this has been making the rounds.
I hate the internet.
I wish I could tell you otherwise and just be like, no, he's just fucking with us, but nope. Not really. And as of now, he's hemorrhaging subs right now.
Do they understand like the game Axis and Allies? It takes people to play Axis and Allies. I mean, that's how you play the game?
No.
Okay. I hate the internet.
Germans.
Dude, well, these types of people have made arguments that cowboys and Indians is racist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they have. Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. Like, I wish that was a joke.
No, you're right. I know it is. It's not a joke. What about like playing the Horde on World of Warcraft? Is that considered to be like, bad now? You can't play Horde characters?
Oh, yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't do that because orcs are an allegory for black people, clearly.
Yeah, it clearly is allegory for that. Yeah. I mean, totally.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos. I'm just kidding.
I haven't heard that one.
I'm just kidding, Jeff Bezos. Oh no, I've heard someone make an allegory between orcs and black people. Someone Vince.
Oh yeah.
I still think blood elves are sexy though, so whatever.
All right, dude. I'm glad to know that. That's a great piece of trivia. Steve thinks blood elves are sexy.
Blood elf rogue, baby. Come on, they are hot.
Dude, I never expected to agree with Steve on this issue in this particular episode, but okay, yeah, I'm on board with
kink. Awesome.
Yeah, sweet.
Gateson says, not all German soldiers in World War II were Nazis. If they were wearing the swastika and are functioning as an arm of the Nazi government, then unless the game goes out of its way to tell you specifically that your particular character is not a Nazi, then they're a Nazi. In that multiplayer shooter, when it switched you to the German side, did it go out of its way to tell you that the person you're playing was pressed into service under threat of their life?
I can't help but laugh. I'm sorry.
Did they go out of their way to let you know that the American soldier was probably pressed into service?
No.
Nope.
That's a big old nope. Oh, and on a similar note, let's please stop forcing people to play as terrorists as well. there you are, playing your modern shooter, and
all
of a
this
sudden
is
you're
a jab at Counter-Strike, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like, fuck you, CSGO.
terrorist.
I play
You didn't
CSGO.
ask-
Yeah. Yeah, did you play as the CT or T?
I usually play counter-terrorist, but it doesn't really matter to me. But I prefer the counter-terrorist just because I like the play style. But yeah, I mean, somebody's got to play the terrorist.
Yeah, there's no fucking game without that.
Yeah, it's like either other players or like this horrendous AI that fails at every turn. You know?
You know what, dude? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, this is the kind of guy that plays like Hitman that thinks that is going to make you into like an assassin.
Yeah,
the funny thing is though, like I think he's actually debunked that kind of argument before. But now he's like making that argument himself against Nazis in video games.
I think
and
it's
terrorists,
just for
I
views.
guess.
Because it fits his agenda, right?
Yeah, this is a view whore that just wants to make drama out of nothing.
I mean, like he gets decent views on his own, so it's not like he's failing at that. And if anything, like this has damaged his channel. Like he's losing thousands of subs every day. So I don't know. Maybe that was his intent. But the end result has been, like views, but at the cost of losing your audience.
For this, you didn't choose this, and yet second verse, same as the first. There it is. I mean, that's
not making you
literally
into
the
an
name
actual
of-
fucking terrorist.
Terrorist.
Sure
Do I really have to come out and fucking explain this?
Terrorists
No, dude.
win.
If we allow terrorists to be in video games, they win. They do.
Did this guy go to fucking
side.
Jack Thompson's fucking School of Journalism or something?
It's funny because like I made my own video destroying Jack.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like that's what's on my mind as I'm watching this. It just reminds me of like Anita Sarkeesian when it comes to sexism in video games, or like Jack Thompson when it comes to like potential school shooters and shit. It's like this is such a flawed argument to make, and I'm surprised that somebody who makes their living, I would think, making videos like these. I mean, like, would it never occur to this person that this is the exact same thing he himself has debunked in the past?
Does he argue that the bots, if they're playing like a couple bots playing the terrorist, are they morally culpable for being terrorists?
Yeah, dude, I guess so.
It's the beginning of the evil AI.
Bots have, AI have feelings too. They can make their own choices. They have free agency.
You know what, Swiped? The next fucking Zelda game shouldn't have fucking Ganondorf. He fucking kills a bunch of people. That's fucking violent, man. They should fucking take him out of the game.
Take him behind
fucking
the
video
shed.
game should just be a bunch of fucking kissing and kumbaya and all that.
Doesn't have violence. Pac-Man eats things and then eats the ghost.
Oh,
Donkey
yeah.
Kong throws barrels at you. That's pretty violent.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, I wouldn't want to get hit by a barrel. Would you, Steve?
Right? No. Or a hammer?
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, and Pokemon, that's like cockfighting, but with, Pokemon. That's
And
fucked
now
up.
that I think about it, you know what? Mario's a human and he's going to, like, fight a giant fucking ape. That's animal abuse. What the fuck is this getting?
I think a 5-year-old plays more violent games than what would make this guy happy.
Yeah, probably.
And all those games where the princess keeps getting kidnapped and looked at with lust and probably touched inappropriately. You know what happens.
Yeah, every single time, man. Every time.
God damn.
in the game. We can
I'm
do
never playing a
better
video
than
game
this.
again.
Even if you put aside all of the
Me neither.
people who have had traumatic experiences with these groups,
take it
Oh
back.
my
Yeah,
god. Really?
Right?
Alright. So now it's like, think about the people who've been affected by terrorism and Nazis. What about
Dude.
their feelings?
Usually we have think about the children, but think about the elderly, man, you know?
Yeah.
Oh god, I don't like this video already. It's just so stupid.
Oh, it took you this long, Steve?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Look, everybody has ways of coping with things, right? And we all have grief, we all have bad things, and one of the ways people cope with things is like humor, right? We all make bad jokes because that's a way we cope with things. Because most of us have a very dark sense of humor. It's not for everybody. We're not going to run into a cancer ward and make and make cancer jokes, right? Or run into a needle unit and start talking about eating babies.
I'd never do that, of course.
Well, I've done it once or twice, but it's not as fun as you may think. But this guy doesn't seem to understand that when people play games, it's just an outlet. It's not morally saying or to anything or making a judgment call on what happened during the Holocaust or anything.
Yeah.
It's just not relating to that at all.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
like,
like the theme of the video game. That's about it.
This is an appeal to emotion. That's all.
At the end of the day, would you want someone to actually get out their anger on a video game, or would you rather them get out their anger on, like, something physical? It's a good outlet for people to get out their anger and their negative emotions and shit. I mean, this is basic fucking principles. That's what the point of any fucking type of entertainment is.
Loved ones to terrorists, or who have had generations of their families wiped out by Nazis. No one should have to put on the costume of an ideology they find abhorrent.
Well, they don't have to. That's the thing. It's a cosmetic thing in the game. They can just, not play as that side. Even if it's random, they could just, leave and then join, another session and just play as the side they prefer. Isn't that a thing? Last time I checked, that was a thing.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, and
So
nobody's forcing me to play these games, so I don't understand what the problem is if there are people willingly going to play these.
Out actually opting
You know what the problem is? There is none. The problem is that this guy had to find a problem where there was no fucking problem. That's the only fucking issue that there is in this entire fucking video. Not the fucking issue he's trying to present, but the fucking video itself.
Yeah, but I mean, all the SJW topics, he's got better ones to pick from. There are even ones that I kind of agree with. Not this. This is just stupid.
It's a bad take.
And by making people do so, we get them to stop thinking about it. To stop thinking of the meaning behind these things.
Just don't think about it. Just delete it. It's gone. You don't need to think about it.
Normalize them. We make them just window dressing for entertainment. Those uniforms, those symbols, become things that no longer inherently revolt us.
They're not presented as good people or heroes or anything.
I think, if you surveyed most gamers and you just asked them, what do you think about Nazis? They'd just say, I don't like them. But no, now they're indifferent. Now they're meh.
What about fucking Wolfenstein? That's a game all about killing Nazis. Did you see the fucking E3 presentation? They fucking built up the fact that you get to fucking kill a bunch of Nazis. So what the hell?
Isn't there a scene in one of these games where Hitler gets fucking crushed by a cargo or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Something it's obviously taking an anti-Nazi stance when it comes to the storytelling.
Yeah, but I don't think they look at that stuff. Again, I mean, going back to the Hitman games, wasn't there? I think it was Hitman. I don't know if it was one or not or two, but one of the Hitman where you had to go into this strip club and kill somebody, and you could have the option to kind of sneak around the girls getting dressed, or if you killed them, but you got points taken away, which was the whole point, was to try to do it stealthily. If you actually attack the women, you actually get points lost for it. And Anita Sarkeesian was like, "Oh, look, this is a violent thing against women, blah blah blah." Oh, it kills me. I hate the internet.
Yeah, she claimed to have recorded that footage herself, but it was actually taken from somebody else, and then she omitted the part where, the player gets penalized for killing the stripper.
Yeah, she totally left that out.
Which is kind of is there any honesty left in this at all at that point?
I doubt it. Like I said, I don't know if they get views or whatever, but to me, it just seems like fabricated drama.
Oh, it causes controversy and it gets views. That's what a lot of people feel the need to do on YouTube these days, since ad revenue is so fucking...
I hate that though, dude.
I know, it's a sad world when fucking money trumps integrity and trying to make an interesting fucking
Onision made he made so much money by doing that for almost a decade.
Oh, sure, a lot of people do, but and then I hate when people come after me and go, "Oh, Steve revels in drama." I'm like, I have one show every so often that just kind of explains things that's been going on, and they're like, "Oh, look at the drama." I'm like, "Oh wait, this person made 100 fucking videos. I made one, and I'm the drama person. Are you really putting forth that narrative? Because 99% of my content is science and philosophy and having fun and drinking, and has nothing to do with the drama. But occasionally I'll address certain things, especially what's been going on with the Non Sequitur show. And all of a sudden I'll get these trolls like, "Oh look, Steve's using drama." Oh please.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the non-sex stuff happened for, 2 or 3 days over on your channel, and then...
Yeah, I mean, I told people, we're going to talk about it for a couple days, and I'm going to go back to normal. Now I have Dr. Hugh Ross coming on Monday. I got Fuzz Rana coming on the 15th. I got News Now Houston coming on today. I got Dr. Misha Griffith coming on. We're trying to do business as usual.
That's one thing I wanted to ask you about. How have things been in general since moving on and doing your own thing? Has it been easy? Has it been some challenging in some ways? How's that?
It's you know what? It's just kind of going back to what I used to do before Non-Sec. That's one of the reasons that Kyle got with me. So, we could put our heads together, and I could use my connections and how I do my channel and have discussions, and he could do the graphics. But clearly he thought the whole show was graphic. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like that's just one part of a fucking show. We have a really talented guy who made this really fucking awesome overlay for us. So I think
I do like this
badass.
overlay. That is really good. That is
badass. Yeah.
Like
it's not the entire show though. We've been doing this show for about 44 episodes before this show. Actually, well, we got this last episode, so 43 episodes before we got this overlay, right? Yeah. But, you know, and I think it's our best one yet, but we've been like, we slowly built up our shit. We didn't have an intro at first. We didn't even have, we had a very basic overlay. It took us a long time to really find our own way of doing a show. Originally, this was just going to be a Drunken Peasants free show. It wasn't going to actually be its own fucking thing. But we ended up making it our own podcast. We found our fucking identity. We started making our own segments. Our show is way much more than just fucking fancy looking graphics or even just planning out content well. It's about the fucking chemistry between the people who are invested in making it happen. If those people aren't invested in building it up and making it happen, then what do you have? Really nothing.
Yeah. And the thing that benefits our show is like the gradual evolution of it, because like instead of just like suddenly revamping the whole thing, it's like a gradual change that results in like change in overlay, adjustments in audio settings, the format, whatever.
And I think you'll be very successful, Steve, because I think that you're not only a very good speaker, but you have something very important that I think that this show has too, which is a community of people that fucking care and want to see you be successful and are willing to donate their time, their money, and all types of fucking shit. In some cases, even their artistic talents to making a better show for you. And I think that that's one of the great fucking things. One of the last good fucking things about YouTube is building up a community that really feels like a fucking home. And that's the really that's honestly, when it comes to the non sequitur shit, I just want to say this: the only thing that really fucking pisses me off and makes me sad is that that community of people had to deal with all that fucking bullshit. Like people who were just enjoying how things were going, they wanted to continue to be entertained, and that just got fucking tore up. And that really
people got genuinely upset over it.
And rightfully so, because they were invested in it, right?
Sure they were. Yeah, the fans were invested in that, and we had a good thing going, and it still gives me a gnawing feeling in my stomach thinking that one person just decided to destroy everything for whatever reasons, and I still can't get too many straight answers. I did have a conversation with him today with a few people, or yesterday with a few people. He said that the books will be open on Monday and that should be dispersing of payments, but we'll see. We'll give him kind of the benefit of the doubt, but I think there's more to it than that. But yeah, the fans lost out on it. Now, I had a channel before then, and like I said, I'm kind of going back to business as usual with the core group, but I have had most of the people come over to my channel, and I have a really great people doing layouts and some other things that I can utilize. And I have Bullinator whenever I need him to do producing. So I mean, I came out ahead overall.
You did,
but I'm still upset that we had something that could have been great. And
I agree.
I completely agree. Kills me.
One of the things that you mentioned, like when we were having a conversation, I don't remember exactly when, but you brought up that for a while Non Sequitur was even giving Drunken Peasants a run for its money, and it's true. Like that show could have been much fucking bigger than Drunken Peasants, but the rug was just kind of torn out from under it. But I think that
was one of our goals, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'll be straight up. One of our goals when we started was like we want to have an audience like DP.
Yeah.
Now I didn't really watch DP back in the day. I like TJ's monologues, but I really wasn't a fan of some of the other stuff that he was talking about.
I understand. Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't until like more recently that I started actually watching DP and go, hey, this is actually pretty cool. I'm not the fan of like, what is it, Deep Fat Fried or something?
Yeah, it's more of a different type of show.
Each his own, right? But I mean, I happen to really like Ben and Billy, and I was thrilled that they had asked me to come on a few times, and that the audience responded by going, hey, we really want to see Steve on the Drunken Peasants. And I'm like, holy crap. I mean, if we can't have the Non Sequitur show beat Drunken Peasants, what's the next best thing? Well, being on there once a month, I'm okay with that.
If you can't beat them, join them, literally.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And plus, I'm happy some of my patrons went over to them. I'm cool with that.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, and YouTube doesn't necessarily need to be a competition between different channels.
No.
Because it's all still there. Everybody can still watch everybody else.
Damn right. A rising tide lifts all boats. And I that was one of the guiding principles for the Great Debate community, because we had channels that nobody knew about and that we helped promote them. I mean, even Non Sequitur had the same ideology, because, Digital Hammurabi was new. Dr. Misha Griffith and her husband started a new channel. And then, of course, you have like offshoots from that. You got Leah that came out of it. You've got, oh man. So, I mean, there's a lot of different people starting. Jim Major's starting a channel. You've got biblical history skeptics. A lot of people wanted to try it out. And I think that because the Great Debate community has been around for several years now, the core principles behind that is, hey, you know what? There's enough to go around. And if my channel does well, your channel will do well, because I will send subs to you. And then when you get some subs, you send them over to me. I think that's good synergy.
Yeah, I really respect that, because that's a big focus of what I'm trying to do, especially with the Underhaven Discord server and shit, trying to get a lot of fucking content creators in there, not just a bunch of fucking videographers, but also people who are artists, musicians, shit like that. I really have a passion for helping independent content creators who aren't that well known get recognition. One off the fucking top of my head that me and Swegta, I'm sure, can both agree on is there's this guy who we had recently, just last week on our show, called Marshall Manson. He's a really fucking talented fucking musician. If anyone here isn't familiar with him, you should fucking be by this point. But
for a second, I thought you were gonna talk about
I did.
What, Monday and Matt?
Yeah, I thought you were gonna mention Matt, because I mean, like, you looked into like managing his kind of community for a while, but it didn't pan out.
I did, yeah.
It turned into whatever. Literally,
it turned into whatever, dude. Yeah. Oh man. I gotta tell you that story. I actually gotta tell you that story.
Sure. Go ahead. All
right. So back when Monday and Matt first had his server, I was just me and a bunch of other people were chilling in the Drunken Peasant server. And there used to be this meme in Drunken Peasants back in the day called $3 Theater.
$3 Theater, yeah.
Yeah. And one day a bunch of us joined the Monday and Matt Discord server, and we all changed our name to $3 Theater, and we just started
$3 Theater being Matt's secondary channel.
His secondary channel at the time. Yeah, and a bunch of people, like some people who had the name $3 Theater were being assholes, and there were other people who were just being regular people. But eventually Matt didn't know what to do, because he didn't know Discord, so he banned all the $3 Theater people. And after a few months, I ended up talking to Matt about it. We had like an actual conversation, and I forgave him for it. And I ended up actually fucking running his Discord server, because he didn't know anything. He didn't know what he was doing at the time.
See, that's how you know you're good with convincing people to work with you. You get banned, and then you become in charge of their community.
Oh my god, yeah. You know what, Swegta? That's a good fucking point. I'm a fucking genius. I'm a fucking cunning linguist, if there ever has been one. But
linguist.
That aside, okay. One year later, Matt decides to change over the name of his server from Monday and Matt to $3 Theater. So I just wanted to state that in the end, $3 Theater won. Fucking won.
I don't feel like I've accomplished anything if I don't get banned somewhere down the line. I mean, I've been banned from Atheist Republic. I've been banned from American Atheist. They banned. I mean, Arvine Nababi banned me. Arn banned me. Matt Dillahunty banned me. I mean, the only people left is I'm still in the ACA. The ACA Uncensored chat on Facebook. I'm still in that one only because of mod. Me, but
I saw you got banned from that community. That was pretty fucked up.
I get banned from everything. It's so funny too, because they banned me for the dumbest reasons, only because they don't want to deal with my arguments. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can hate me, you can call me an asshole, you can think I'm a smug prick, it doesn't matter to me. Show me where I'm incorrect in my logic and my philosophy. That's what I'm asking them to do, and they know that they can't. I am convinced of that at this point. I was willing to put up $100 and say, look, if you can show that I'm wrong from an academic source, I'll donate the $100 to charity. Nobody took me up on it.
Trying to ban someone and deplatform them is something that people do often when they lose the intellectual argument. And
I could understand if you had no sense of decorum or something like that, and you were just being annoying.
I'm a nice guy.
I've never seen you go out of your way to be an asshole or be disruptive. So I don't see why all of these communities would just ban you. To me, that seems indicative of them being afraid of what you have to say.
I do kind of give what I get, and on Facebook, especially Twitter, you come at me sideways, I'm going to come at you sideways, right? I will be a total dick to you only because you're being a dick to me, but I'll do it in a very intelligent way. You know,
and
so
that was
I will
brought
make you
up
feel
during
like
that was brought up during the non sequitur situation, I believe. At least like at some point it was.
Yeah, which is funny because the very handful of people that were bitching about me on Twitter, I already had blocked most of them. We're absolute idiots that we're not donating to the show. We're not even watching the show. They were just people that could not take me on intellectually or with my arguments. And what I don't think Kyle realized was that was like 0.0001% of the audience that actually watched. And when I try to explain to him, I get hundreds of messages asking, where have I been, or why are we going in this stupid direction with all this other nonsense stuff that's going on with the channel, with doing dual streams with for atheists and having godless engineer and Casey on who don't know shit all about anything. Why is this happening? And he's like, well, no, that's what they want to see. I'm like, no, you don't have the pulse. Your finger's not on the pulse of reality here.
They've been wanting to see something else for months, and suddenly they want to see something else, is what you're led to believe.
No, overwhelming dislikes. That's what we
apparently.
Well, where's all these people that wouldn't go on the channel because I was on there? Because I don't see them going on the channel now. Matter of fact, they're all coming over to my channel.
Hey, Swag. Jamie, play that clip. Play that fucking clip.
It is Monday.
Play that clip.
That is true.
It is Monday.
Oh God, this is hilarious.
Anything exciting?
Oh, I love this. I love this. This is great.
Katie?
They should get a producer.
Yeah. The 95%, part 1.
Yeah, man.
So what is this smoking nun thing? What is that?
This was something that he was supposed to do with Katie, unbeknownst to me, and it was one of those things where, okay, well, first we'll do the smoking nun, and then he'll do ad homies or whatever, and then it's basically kind of like move Steve out of the picture from 4 days a week plus one flat Earth or more to he'll be down to 2 days a week and I don't have to deal with him kind of nonsense. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm trying to explain to him nobody likes this girl Katie on the show. They all think she's inept. They all think that she has no personality. She gets facts wrong completely. There's like a handful of people on Twitter now complaining about her not even writing some of the things that she actually supposedly write. And what's worse is her making false allegations that she refuses to show evidence for as a journalist. So, yeah, I mean, they're like, why do you have this person on here? Because she's just inept.
No, they love her.
Because it's not Steve.
It's not Steve, yeah.
I mean, like, it seems like the argument boils down to, like, that seems about it. I've not heard Kyle refute any of this. It seems like he just asserts this and then just like, yeah, that's the way it is.
That's the new atheist kind of way, right? I mean, I'm kind of outspoken and I hate to use the word controversial, but only because I like Red's rhetoric, right? You guys know Red's, right?
Yeah. I'm familiar with it.
Okay, so Red's rhetoric is a flat Earth debunker who basically takes evidence and shoves it up the ass of flat Earthers. I do the same thing with people that just are completely inept in when it comes to logic and philosophy, telling me that I'm wrong. And so when I have a discussion with somebody and they're like, "Well, you're wrong, Steve," I'm like, "Okay, fine. I'll give you every opportunity to demonstrate that using evidence." And they never bring it. So, Kyle and the rest of the kind of group, Godless Engineer and Casey, they don't have the skill set to show that I'm wrong. So they just assert it by fiat.
I mean,
that's
where
the problems
like you
arise.
getting banned, doesn't it? Because I mean, like you contradict what they think, and so they just kind of push you aside. Yeah,
I mean,
which is
aren't atheists kind of known for being free thinkers and skeptics, and
not just that, but Non Sequitur out of all things. That was like a show that just kind of prided itself on bringing people on with different points of view, even though some people in the audience felt kind of about it. They still did it.
Yeah, opinions are sacred. Point of view, right?
Yeah, opinions are sacred unless they disagree with one of the hosts, I guess.
Yeah. It's fucking sad, man. Like, honestly, like, I really respected Kyle for, like, being able to have those conversations, but to find out that he wasn't really willing to have the most important conversation of all is just disappointing to me.
We had Nate Talks to You on, and he mentioned being deplatformed. And we kind of went into, like, the Non Sequitur thing, because I think you guys had some
yeah, we did. We had Nate on.
Yeah, you had some other people with, like, controversial opinions on, too.
Yes.
And so that was kind of, like, what was going on at the time, which is, like, It's insane to think, like, months later, now, like, Non Sequitur has fallen into the same kind of trap there.
Get woke, go broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve, believe it or not, I wanted to be like the Non Sequitur show. Not in terms of like having debates and shit like that, but in
terms of doing 95% of the work, right?
Yeah.
Well, people, I'm a like toot you guys' horns right now. Doing what you guys do and doing anything on the internet, especially YouTube or Twitch or whatever, it's not as easy as people think it is.
Oh no, it's not.
There's a lot of prep work that goes into a lot of this stuff, and you're out there every day or every other day or how often you do videos, and you're putting yourself out there for public review. That's a little disconcerting if you think about it, because you are being judged not only by the couple dozen or 100 people that are watching, but thousands that'll follow afterwards, and they will give you their opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't take days off, man. Most people can't, especially not these days with how it is on YouTube.
Yeah, I take one at least. You need a mental health day, man. You got to.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot to get into.
I've been
preparing for 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I just kind of space out my my time. Like I give myself some time each day where I chill out and do that type of thing.
Do you drink heavily? Because it works.
No, I just smoke.
Oh, I quit smoking like smoke or like smoke.
Yeah, smoke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I quit actual cigarettes about 4.5 years ago. After smoking for like 25 years, let me tell you, that was not easy.
I would never smoke cigarettes. Fuck that shit, man.
So hard to quit, dude. And I quit cold turkey. Like cold turkey.
That's crazy, man.
I tried easing my way out of it by replacing it with vaping. As douchey as that is, I was just kind of like, you know what? I can either look stupid or poison myself. So I'll just look like an idiot.
Yeah, I tried replacing it with heroin, but that wasn't really a good idea.
Oh, damn.
Dude, I've always had this idea for like the most addictive kind of like snack you could invent. With like it contains heroin, caffeine, sugar, any possible addictive. Yeah, cocaine. Just
you can make it a fortune, man.
Yeah, Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it.
A little pick-me-up heroin nips.
Yeah, they could do that.
Dude, that's why everyone wanted Coca-Cola Classic back after New Coke, dude. They wanted that fucking cocaine.
Yeah. Cocaine. Instead of like letting the pharmaceutical industry dominate that market, just like let grocery stores partake in it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Some shit there. Why not?
And somebody had noticed in the live chat, it wasn't so much the nicotine. Nicotine, you kind of withdrawal out of that pretty quickly, a day or so, a couple days most. But it's that mental
habit forming.
Yeah, you're like, okay, especially when you're getting stressed, like, okay, I need a cigarette. Ah, crap, I quit. But I gotta tell you, 3 or 4 days after I quit smoking, it's not heroin. It's not nicotine withdrawal. It's not nicotine withdrawal because it's out of your system pretty quick. But what happens is you have these ligands in your cells and they start straightening up again because they get bent because of the smoke and from the nicotine and that. And so they start straightening themselves out. And what it gives you is called the smoker's flu. And so for like 2 or 3 days, I had the worst flu of all time, even though it was not a viral flu. It had the exact same symptoms. I was miserable. So if there's any smokers out there that have quit after a long period of time and they've experienced smoker flu, they know what I'm talking about. It's sucky.
Yeah, I have not experienced that. But I've really felt like the need to go buy a pack of smokes. And the worst thing is like when, I don't have that ability, like, because I lost my...
Who does? It's $10 a pack now.
I lost my debit card at one point and I couldn't buy any smokes for like a month. And so I used my vape on occasion, but it didn't do it because it's a habit. It's like I'm sorry, what? Do
you know how expensive cigarettes are?
They are. But I like him too much. No, I mean, I'm not talking down to you. I'm not complaining. I mean, I get it, right? But I mean, still, they're freaking expensive.
Oh, way more expensive than when I was younger. Like I never smoked, but I remember that my father used to get them, and they were way less expensive.
10 cents a pack, baby.
In the early 2000s. Now there's all the taxes on them. That's why, especially in my state.
Yeah. Oh yeah, taxes are like 80% of it probably.
Where I live, Sweden, like they've banned certain types of cigarettes, like menthol cigs. I think they banned them, but maybe they brought them back. I don't know. But they're trying to like crack down on that. Yeah, like the UK has like a smoking a law they're trying to implement where like people born past a certain year can no longer buy cigarettes, which is I don't like. Obviously, smoking's bad, but I don't feel like the government should preclude people from being able to buy cigarettes.
No, I don't either. I think it's a fundamental right if you want to smoke. I'm never gonna, be one of those people. Oh, I quit smoking. Why can't you? Not at all. I think that if people want to smoke, I'm totally cool with it. But like I said, I couldn't afford it if I wanted to.
Oh well. So you guys want to get into another video? We still have a bit of time left.
Yeah, let's get into one.
Do it.
This is what the Bible said.
Oh, I forgot the intro. Hold on.
Yeah, dude, we can't forget the.
Yeah.
You've been deceived tonight. You've been lied to. The media has been brainwashing you week after week and month after month and day after day.
No homos will ever be allowed on this church as long as I'm the pastor here.
Never! Wow.
Mr. Anderson.
I hate him, by the way.
How can you not, dude?
He's such a. I mean, there's some vile, disgusting people in the world. He's like below that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sure is.
It's like, you compare him to Hitler. Somebody's like, hey, don't do that. Come on.
Yeah, Hitler like puppies.
Yeah. He had like artistic ability, so
he could draw or paint But I mean, I have to ask if this guy's like just delusional sometimes, or if he's just doing for the congregation. Because I don't want to believe that somebody's this literally batshit insane, spewing the hatred he spews.
He just has a very literal take on the Bible, I feel.
I think that, but it's also like some part of it is performance, obviously. Because it's timed. He waits for feedback from the audience, to kind of like fuel his rants and stuff. So there is like a performance aspect to it, but I do think that there is like some sincerity in it.
Yeah, this is what the Bible says. It's pretty clear. You can read it as many times as you want, and it's going to keep saying the same thing in 1 Corinthians 5, 2 Corinthians 2, Matthew 18, and elsewhere. But one thing I want to point out in particular in this passage is that it says in verse 6, sufficient to such a man is this punishment which was inflicted of many. Does it say it was just inflicted by me alone? No. It says
I hate to see a fucking punishment inflicted by this asshole, man. Oh, actually, you know what? We have seen a punishment inflicted by this asshole before, but how he treats his fucking congregation. Oh, yeah, he's literally put up entire fucking videos shitting on people who have left his congregation. Like, imagine doing that. Like, this guy gets decent fucking views for what he's fucking preaching about. Imagine this guy fucking imagine going to this guy's congregation for one, but actually leaving and then having him make an entire fucking, essentially hit piece on you online, talking about how unholy you are and how much of a piece of shit you are. It's really fucked up, honestly.
What's funny is, like, last show we did, I think we watched a video of him kicking one of his one of the members of the congregation out because they had like dissenting opinions and kind of gossiped about him, which is funny because like he condemns that, but then he engages in it, especially when it comes to other local pastors.
Yeah, all the time he does it.
So he
calls them fucking effeminates and shit like that. Every word in the book this guy's pulled out against people he doesn't like.
What a shot.
This guy gives me an Alex Jones aftertaste.
Yeah, people like him for similar reasons, because this guy, you say what you want about him, but he's very fiery, he's very fucking passionate, he gets in your fucking face.
He's red-pilled on top of it.
And people really like a fucking, firebrand type personality. Someone who's willing to go out there and say the things that they want to say, but aren't willing to say them fucking selves,
I mean, I'll go and be as vocal as that. I mean, I just did it at work the other day, but I'm going to be right when I do it because I'm going to make sure I'm right before I speak up to this.
Yeah, I don't want to be mistaken. Like that, I think it's a good thing. Like, there's plenty of fucking people who are from all types of political persuasions who have fucking fiery personalities. It's good to have someone who has a fiery personality, representing you and what you believe. It's a good fucking thing. That's how I feel about fucking Jimmy Dore, even though I have differences with him. He's fucking got he's very fucking passionate in what he's trying to say, is what I'm trying to say. Right? I don't think anyone can fucking deny that. So
I think a big part of why he has a congregation is the fact that people are that way. People are pissed off. They're unsettled, and so they see this guy. Oh, shit,
exactly.
They see this guy, and they're just kind of like, oh, he's pissed off, and I'm pissed off for the same reason. Although I don't think they are. I think they're just unhappy people.
Yeah, honest, Red. He's called them effeminates.
To me, like, you know, no person like this. Like, I don't think there's like genuine happiness behind this at all. And
no, he's a miserable person. But I mean, do you remember the phone call he had with Hovind?
No, I've never seen that. We should cover that.
Oh yeah,
that should be entertaining.
Hovind had called him from prison when Hovind was actually incarcerated, and he was having a discussion with him, and the conversation went along the lines of that the government should kill homosexuals, not that the individuals should do it, not that everybody should be running out killing gays, but the government should do it. That way, it's okay for some reason. So he actually advocates the position that the government should execute gay people. Yes, Steven Anderson is part of the NIFB kind of movement with Matt Powell and what's the other guy's name? Timothy McNerdy or something.
There's also Pastor Boyle, I think. That was one of them.
There's probably Boyle.
we talked about him on the previous show.
Oh yeah,
the Make America Straight Again campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Make America Straight Again. These people are just literally hate-filled hate mongers. They have to rally people against something, and it's historically there's no difference between people trying to say things about gay people as it would be the Nazis against the Jews. It's just the focal point of concentrated hate to rally people up. That's all it is. That's all. It makes no difference what the hate is. Hate is hate. I hate this guy. I hate the internet. I hate this guy. You guys are really, really showing people how much I really hate things because I'm a hater.
Many. And you know what? That's why it worked. That's why it worked, because it was inflicted by many. And you know what?
And this guy calls other people feminine. Okay.
It's wicked when the church...
I mean, that's fine, but it's just funny to me that it's coming from him out of all people.
Church throws out some evildoer, and then you're going and having a barbecue with them, and you're hanging out with them, and you're buddy with them. You know what? Why don't you just go with them and get out of the church?
See, that's cult-like behavior right there. It's like you get along with people outside of my realm. How fucking dare you? You're banished.
If you're not with us, you're against us.
Yeah.
What happened to love thy neighbor?
This is a cult. I'm convinced this is a cult.
Does he look gay?
Now you're convinced it's a cult? Swagta, I've been convinced this was a cult since we started doing this fucking podcast.
I've had my suspicion, but I'm just saying, like, how can anyone deny this being a cult? Like, even someone like in this congregation, they should be able to acknowledge cult-like elements of this at least.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you know what? I'm sorry. But if we don't get to this entire video, make sure that you play the end, because that's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful part.
Well, we'll just it's a couple minutes long, so we'll get there.
All right, yeah.
Because if that person has been put out of fellowship and church discipline, and you want to be their buddy, you're not respecting the church's judgment. You're not respecting God's judgment. And you know what you're doing?
How do you know?
You're interfering with that punishment that's supposed to be happening.
How come?
Because it doesn't align with his idea of God.
Oh, okay.
This guy's going to be the next Ted Haggard.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's gonna be snorting coke off some male prostitute's ass one of these days. Watch.
Oh, he's done it. There's no.
Yeah,
way
I mean, he's probably. Yeah, of course he's probably done it. It's just he has to get caught.
I think the majority of Christians we cover on this show have repressed homosexuality, especially that one gay Steve Harvey guy.
Yeah, and that anti-gay rap guy who's like, "Yo, don't be gay. It's not okay.
Don't be gay. Don't be gay. Tim Pool's dumb fucking brother.
Don't
it's
be gay.
Fucking gay, yo. Don't do that.
Isn't that like out of like South Park? Don't be gay, Sparky. It's bad dog.
Yeah,
probably.
He's not gay. He's just confused. Yeah.
What if
I always find it funny when these guys always bring up the fact that you're interfering with God's punishment, as if like that's even a thing.
Yeah, as if God can be stopped. I mean, like, isn't everything that occurs God's will?
Yeah, I don't think they think very critically about this. I mean, well, supposedly Iron Chariots
obviously
defeated God, but yeah, I mean, if this is God's will, then I guarantee it that people out there doing whatever is not going to make much of a big difference to an omnipotent being. If it was
God's fucking will, why wouldn't these people just fucking drop dead right now?
Yeah, where's the plagues? Where's the famine? Where's the pestilence?
Yeah, where's the Crusades, mister?
Yeah, and it's usually in the areas where, you know, a lot of the people are the holier than thous, where a lot of the natural, like the Bible Belt, right? Those are all the tornadoes hit.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's true.
No,
that's just God's judgment.
You've done wrong, And so you're going to go to bed with no dinner. Right? Have you ever heard of that punishment before? Go
Dude,
to
this is the
bed with
fucking
no
only
dinner.
type of guy that actually would send their kid to bed with no fucking dinner, man.
Okay, what if his brother then says, oh, here, let me bring you dinner in bed? Do you think that my son is going to get the
human
discipline that
decency?
he needed from that act?
Compassion? Why, I never...
Stop and think about this. I mean, if I say, son, you've done wrong. I'm showing you a boundary here. Dinner with no bed, or bed with no dinner. Then
dinner with no bed.
You're sitting there and bringing him food. You know what you're basically doing there
Contrary signals,
is nullifying the punishment at that point. And you know what you're doing? You're emboldening his sin. So that he'll think, I can sin and there's no consequence. And you know, you're making an idiot out of mom. You're making an idiot out of dad. You're making
I mean, you catch more flies with honey, right? So doesn't it make more sense to show people compassion?
And here's the best thing. Steven Anderson's making an idiot out of his fuck himself, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I just can't stand the fact that this guy gets attention so much. It's like I don't talk about this guy because I think that a lot of these people I do agree that sunlight is the best disinfectant, but some people like him and Matt Powell and Boyle and all whatever the guys, I just think that I'd rather just ignore them. But I mean I get why people will go after them and they should. It's just I don't have the patience to deal with this level of fuckery. I'm grateful people do though.
I like to cover this guy because I get very animated and passionate because I can only get this fucking pissed off at people who are this big fucking pieces of shit, right? It's really hard for me. Honestly, I'd like to imagine that I get along with most people, but I would couldn't stand to be in the same fucking place as this guy. He's been banned from multiple countries, by the way.
Oh, I know he is. Can you imagine if we put him in against the Westboro Baptist Church? That'd be an interesting matchup.
Oh God. Yeah, he probably thinks that they're fucking strayed from God, too.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah, just put him and Shirley Phelps in like a deathmatch ring. That'd be awesome.
I'm on board.
Joke of the rules. You're making a joke of the punishment because I got to eat anyway.
Can I see that again? No. I definitely got to see that again.
Because I got to eat anyway.
Oh, Steven Anderson.
Oh, man.
And you know what? That's exactly what...
Sorry.
I was going to say, that's going to be like a running meme. Oh, that's Steven Anderson. He's at it again.
I'm going to make that into a GIF later.
Yeah, please do.
What you're doing, if you're one of these people who pals around with people who've been thrown out of the church, and you think, oh, I'm just more loving. I'm just a little nicer than Pastor Anderson. No, you're not. You're wicked. You're puffed up.
Isn't it telling when somebody's view on being kind is like, oh, I'm nice. Ugh. It's like, no, that's a good thing, isn't it? Last time I checked, kindness tends to pay off.
No, it's unholy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you put humanism up against this guy is just abominable.
And your glorying's not good, and a little leaven leavens the whole lump. Because you know what? This church is never going to be a doctrinal free-for-all. It's never going to be a den of iniquity and drunkenness and fornication. It's just not going to happen. And if it does happen, it'll be over my dead body. And I'm not going to sit here and just let anything go so that you can think I'm nice.
Wouldn't it be awesome if you had a heart attack on camera? I'd be okay with that.
This reminds me of like...
Yeah, and that's why it will happen over his dead body because he's going to stress out. So.
Amen, brother. Can I hear an amen?
Yeah.
Amen. This is kind of like that South Park episode where Satan's like, it's not about them, it's all about me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's move on to something else. We could get into... I don't know. You guys want to get into some conspiracy shit, or do you want to get farther into intolerant assholes? Which one do you prefer?
We'll play like one more video, and then I'll do my special fucking segment.
Okay.
I tend to just shake my head at intolerant assholes.
Just to let you know, I have a lot of fun with this. I do have a prior engagement a little bit after around 1 o'clock my time.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll make this.
Which, by the way, I do want to come back though if you let me.
Sweet, yeah, sometime we'll have you back for sure.
See, the audience doesn't hate me. That's a good sign.
No, they like you. They love you.
Sexually?
I hope so.
There's an epidemic of child sexual.
Oh, the audio sucks. Let's play something else.
Can we still expect a red wave?
This is quick, yeah.
So yeah, this is something that people try to
Hey, look, Google Hangouts.
pin you on because of the.
Yep, there's another guy who's
Midterm
going to have
election.
an
Let's
issue in
explain that for a
2020.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the midterms, I said there's going to be a red tsunami. Well, apparently that wasn't good enough. What we won. I mean, we.
So do you want to fill people in on who this is, Animancer, if you know?
Oh yeah, this is Mark Taylor. This is he's an I think he's a televangelist that we cover a lot of clips on him on this show. He's most predominantly someone we find from Right Wing Watch, but I believe that he actually has his own fucking YouTube channel that he fucking puts out content on.
Yeah, he's a former firefighter who like claimed to have some kind of psychic vision, you know, in like one of his dreams, where like he could tell that Trump was going to be president, and he's
Whoa, I never even knew that
and all
part.
this. Yeah, so that's how he got notoriety in the first place. So now he has his own Google Hangout show, I guess.
Yeah, dude, how prestigious.
So now you know what type of person this is.
Yeah. It's sad how much a lot of these people we riff on, they look exactly alike.
They all sound alike too. I mean, every time I see a lot of these people have their channels, and granted that they get a following, great. I just want to make sure that they put out correct information, and I think you guys do as well. So when you hear people, and you just listen to them, they go, "Wait, no, that's just it's so wrong. Stop."
That's one thing that these people are incapable of doing, which makes it even worse, is that they never tend to own up to their fucking, even when they're wrong. Like, this is what this entire clip's about. This guy claimed that there was going to be a red tsunami during the midterms and that Republicans were going to fucking take over everything in the fucking country. But I believe that Democrats had a narrow but overall net win in terms of what they gained.
Which was
during
expected.
The midterms. Yeah, which was expected.
This was prior to the 2018 election?
Yeah. This is after. This is after now. He's trying to say that, well, no, there still is going to be a red wave. It's just going to be.
So this kind of goes back to like the thing we talked about people not wanting other people with the opposing points of view on their programs.
Exactly.
You know, like it's not the exact same thing as non-sec. I'm not going to go that far.
No.
But it kind of falls into like the same type of behavior, which like, you know, you're going to have people on who agree with you, and you're not going to allow any dissenting opinions, or at least, you know, dissenting opinions coming from certain personalities. Let's put it that way. Which is,
I mean,
to me, that should not even be a factor. I mean, like a big reason for, you know, why we have the audience we do, as, you know, small as it might be, is because, you know, like people enjoy the fact that we have people on with opposing points of view, like War Corpse.
Yes.
We gave him a platform and just said, you know, speak your shit. Say whatever you want to say. We'll have an open discussion about it. But when it comes
not
to
only that, we've had people on from all different types of political backgrounds and ideas and beliefs and shit like that. Like, we've offered people to come on here who have political ideas that we don't agree with at all. So.
Yeah, and we're still open to having Kyle on if he wants to be on and he can tell his side. I mean, you know,
yeah,
it's
he
whatever.
wants to explain his side, but I don't think I'm going to get a message back mysteriously.
No, don't hold your breath on that.
Yeah.
Like
I doubt it.
I'm gonna have a you know, I guess cautious anticipation until Monday. If he opens up the books and we can actually analyze them, with me and Glenn Williamson, my attorney in fact, then we can go from there. He says the money's still there. He says there will be a payout. I think there's more to meets the eye. I mean, they still seem to be running this narrative that for some reason I'm trying to defraud something, and it's just like, I don't think they understand that I have to have an income to pay taxes, and we were just building an asset until I get a dispersion of it, or what's called a payout or draw. Sure. In this case, I have to pay taxes on that, and anything related to me is after I get the funds. I haven't gotten a dime for a year and a half. How does he explain that? When he said, I'll pay you $1,000 a month, I didn't get that. When I asked for the books, the accountant has it. What's the name of the accountant? Well,
I hope it works out for you. I hope it works out for you sincerely, because if it ends up being more than meets the eye, then I'm gonna be very fucking disappointed. But I just don't have any faith. But I still hope for your sake, man. That
obviously my insight into this is very limited, because I mean, like, you know, we haven't seen much aside from, you know, like the leaked recording, stuff like that.
Sure.
So, you know, like, I don't have a proper grasp on this, but to me it just seems like indicative of, you know, something else going on. Because if there's really like if the money's there and you can get the money he owes you, then I mean, like, shouldn't that just have happened by now?
Yeah,
I would think so. Like I said, he could play it one of two ways. He can play it straight, pay me what I'm owed, and he said we have another recording, which he said was fine. That he'll give me some 50-50 in perpetuity kind of thing and work it out. If he does that, then all's well, and absolution of him and move on, be one with God and do your own thing. But if he tries to come at me sideways and tries to screw me somehow, it will not end well for him.
Well,
or should we screw me again? I guess would be the.
Thanks for giving. We should probably do this last thing, and then we can let go of Steve.
Yeah, without any further ado, Mark Taylor.
What do you got?
What we won. I mean, we picked up 6 red governorships in 6 states. Why is that important? Because the abortionists, you guys.
Yes.
Because because Roe versus Wade's coming down. We haven't even gotten into the judges yet.
Oh, right.
Roe versus Wade's coming down. And when it does, where does it go? It goes back to the states. So having 6 more states turn red like that for governorships is very important. Now, we picked that up.
Yeah, but you had a net fucking loss.
Yeah.
He is right, though.
When it comes to changes like this, I mean,
picking up the governorships is important.
It is significant.
Them
it is.
retaining what they have.
But I mean, like, this is just like the pendulum swinging back and forth. I mean, eventually it's going to revert back to the way it was.
Yeah, it always happens here in America.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, a society, just like any other community, evolves over time.
Well, what happened under Obama is he started off controlling everything. And then under Obama, they subsequently lost the Senate, the House, and I think it was like over 1,000 various governorships and legislative positions across the state. Shit. Yeah, so the Republicans gaining even more governorships in the midterms is a bad thing for the left. But they did lose half of the legislature at the federal level. So you do kind of end up in a stalemate.
Yeah, but this guy was arguing that it was going to be like a red tsunami, like the Republicans were going to dominate, and he's not even willing to concede that he was wrong about that. He's just trying to like say, oh, well, we got this consolation prize. It's like just because things kind of evened out and broke even if that was the case, that doesn't mean that you fucking won.
Yeah,
it's
my
like
side is making progress
on
one.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he's the same dude who had like a vision that Trump was God chosen and shit. So this dude, I mean, like he jerks off to Trump, I bet.
Oh, God.
Even Q said we didn't care about the House. All we wanted was the Senate because they can't impeach the president. They can't get anything through unless it goes through the Senate. We picked up seats in the Senate. That's what we were after. Now, this election is still not over, and when I say that, people think I'm nuts. I get attacked for this all the time.
It's fucking over, and so is this episode, man. I can't take this anymore. I can't take this Wilford Brimley motherfucker.
Don't compare Wilford Brimley to this pile of shit. Don't do that.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Diabetes.
Dude, yeah, dude, he should have played Garfield in the fucking movie. Anyway.
Fuck off.
See, I just want to make one more point on this. He is right in that this election isn't over, but I'm carrying that over into 2020. Once the Rust Belt sees that what they ended up voting in does not actually retain jobs and keep their economy even where it was at, things are going south for them fast. They are going to realize that before the general election in 2020, and they will vote against what they voted for.
So who do you think will be, before I go, who do you think will be on the 2020 then, who's going to win?
That, in my opinion, all depends on the Democratic primary.
That's true. The DNC screwed the pooch before. I got to tell you, I do think Bernie had a hell of a chance.
Oh yeah, he did.
I think that them taking Hillary over him was the worst mistake the DNC ever made.
It was a legendary mistake.
Legendary. They would have probably won. I think the reason Trump won is the same mindset that I had, anything other than Hillary. And there was such backlash from all this PC and SJW and other nonsense that basically they voted Trump in as a big fuck you to everybody.
And that's why I think that Trump has a lot worse of a chance than people think, because so many people just didn't vote because they thought Hillary was a shoo-in, right?
Yeah, I think so too. So I I thought Trump was going to probably win, or at least have a good chance. I don't think he's electable for the second term.
I agree. I hope we're right, because I don't want to hear him for fucking 4 more years.
I'm going to throw a curveball at you, though. There were going to be a lot of red votes for Bernie Sanders had he been on the Democratic ticket in 2016. There's a lot of them that even if you put Bernie up against Trump in 2020, that will not go that way now.
Yeah, because he kneeled down to Hillary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
now they're invested. Now they want their guy to stay there.
Yeah,
I think so too.
So they're not going to let it. Now, if you put Biden up against him, I think it's Trump for another 4 years.
Oh yeah, definitely. We don't even have to have a conversation about that.
Who did Joe Biden say for his running mate? He announced something the other day. He
already announced his running mate. Oh, dude, it better be Obama.
He was talking about it. I believe
it's Obama, dude. It's gonna be Obama.
Obama.
That's legal.
I think it was Kamala Harris, maybe, or Kamala Harris said it about Joe Biden, one or the other. You know what? I need to catch up more on my politics.
That sounds right, mainly because you know where the DNC's head is at for making a decision.
I thought they were going to take Billy the Fridge as their running mate, but that would be awesome.
Okay.
I'd love to see Billy versus Biden. That'd be interesting.
That would be the best debate ever.
Yeah.
I think is more likely is Kamala and Buttigieg. I don't know who would be president and who would be VP, but I think that is the more likely ticket for the.
Wow, I guess we're gonna end the show with complete and utter fucking sacrilege, but okay.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll play it. Sacrilege.
He's a molester. He's a child molester.
Oh my God!
All right, everyone. Thanks
I'm
for
never
watching.
coming back.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good episode. Day. Yeah. See ya.
Bye.